guys, Rob from Infinite Combo here with a final impression of the Destiny 2 beta. I'm going to record this over the first storyline mission that when you boot up the beta for the first time or create a new character, you have to play through before you can do any of the other activities. The one thing that I did not have a chance to try was the farm area, I believe it was called. It was the new social space. They only opened it a couple times during certain time periods. Unfortunately, all of those time periods over the course of the beta so far have been while I had other obligations, so I had no way of trying it out. However, I did play through this story mission 3 times, one with each character class. I played the inverted Spire with each character class at least once. I played the social PvP mode, which was Control, and then I also played the competitive PvP mode, which was Countdown. I did pre-order, so I did have early access. Most of this recording was after the open beta was available for everybody, so it wasn't really like recorded early. I spent the early time during my early access actually playing and developing impressions and getting used to the game and the weapons and everything. One of the things was there wasn't really a weapon that I had that felt similar to the weapons that I had been using in Destiny 2, like constantly. Like I was pretty set on the high fire rate pulse rifles, and I don't think I ever got one. I could be wrong, and maybe one of the other pulse rifles just, it felt different to me, but anyways. So this is just my opinion. First and foremost, your opinion may differ. By all means, I would love to hear your comments and your opinions on the beta and what you think of Destiny in general. Get that down in the comments below. And without further ado, so the story mission, I have to say, the one gripe I always had about Destiny 1 is the story missions just felt really flat. It was just like a quick little blurb from the Ghost while you're in orbit, about to land, some talk from the Ghost and some of the other characters while you're going through the missions, and then just kind of run through generally a linear path, killing enemies, and eventually get to the end and either a boss or a bunch of waves of enemies, and that was about it. There wasn't any real cinematics. There wasn't any real, like, stops in the level where you had to, like, meet characters or maybe even, like, search for something, or they were very flat. They were very one-dimensional, and as much as I loved playing through the storyline, because I played through it 3 times with all 3 characters, including all of the DLC missions for all 3 characters, I'm really loving the very cinematic opening to this game. And of course, the opening story mission is very linear, and I do hope that there are some story missions that are a little more open. There's a little more to explore. There's maybe multiple paths to making it to the end of the game, end of the mission, instead of just one linear path with a bunch of enemies and then maybe a boss. Maybe some of the missions will end not with a boss, maybe with a puzzle, maybe with some sort of another objective, something that's different from what we're used to seeing with Destiny.
The tower, the city.
But from what we've heard, there's more than 50 cutscenes for the storyline, for the base storyline of Destiny 2. I want to say Destiny 1 was maybe like 6 or 7. It was definitely less than 10. All I can really think of is like the opening, when you bring the Gate Lord's Eye to the Awoken Queen, maybe a couple others that I can't even remember off the top of my head. That's how few there were, and that I can't even really remember all of them. But overall, so far, this is really a really good look into this storyline, and they definitely leave you on a cliffhanger at the end of the story mission, which is nice. It just makes me want more. The about month and a week or so wait, a month and a half wait is going to be tough. Waiting for this game. I'm going to be playing this a lot. But example, right here, you just open this door and all of a sudden here's Cade, and he just whips out his golden gun and smashes those 3 guys with it, and a little bit of talking, and just like little interactions with the characters. Like during the Taken King, they started to involve the Vanguard a little bit more in the storyline. Here you see Lord Shaxx, still here with his what looks like it could be a raised lighter on his back. Just like little interactions with the characters is a step forward. And the environments they did a really great job with. I would imagine that part of the reason for not just releasing a DLC for this game for Destiny 1 to continue the storyline and making a whole new game was probably to get out of their last gen engine and into something that they can make just for this generation, so everything looks nicer. So as far as story, real main points were, I loved the story mission, the cinematics were great, the involvement with the characters was great, the fact that it looks like there's going to be almost like a real storyline instead of just little snippets is great. I'm loving that. Now on to the Inverted Spire, which is the first strike we got to see. So this is going to be our core PvE gameplay for those who either are not into the whole raiding thing or don't like to group up with people. Normally, the strikes you will always matchmake with 2 other people, regardless, because they're just not easy to do by yourself anyways. The Inverted Spire was fun. The environments were nice. The fact that we got 2 different types of enemy factions during it. We got to see the Vex and the Cabal, which was nice. It was a pretty good strike. It was a little longer, if I remember correctly, than most of the strikes in Destiny 1, or maybe that's just because I'm used to speedrunning them. The only real issues I think I kind of ran into were ammo was really, really scarce, and I don't know that I had the problem in the story mission as much, with the exception of power weapon ammo, but I had issues with ammo all the time in the Inverted Spire. It was like one type of ammo would always be scarce. Like, the beginning of the match, it would just like dump a whole bunch of power ammo, and I'd have no energy weapon or kinetic weapon ammo, and so then I'd have to switch to my power weapon. I'd use that early, not on bosses or powerful enemies that I really should be using it on, to get kinetic and energy ammo. Then I'd get those, and I wouldn't see power ammo for the rest of the strike. And then sometimes I'd have issues where I would not find any kinetic ammo, so I was stuck using my energy weapons the whole time. Or I would not find any energy weapon ammo, so I was stuck using my kinetic weapons the whole time. I did have one instance of playing the strike where I had to use my energy weapons the whole time. I ran out of kinetic ammo early and never saw any for the whole strike. Ran out of power weapon ammo, didn't see any for the whole strike. And when we got to the boss, it was crazy because I didn't have much ammo. So I know they have said that they have made some changes in balancing with the ammo and everything for the final build, which is nice. So I hope we don't have to deal with that. Other than that, the strike was really fun. I just hope that maybe the strikes will have a little bit, the other strikes might have a little bit more story around them, instead of just being like cookie cutter missions with no like character to them, or there's something else that kind of changes with them so that it's not the same thing every single time. For the PvP, so I did play both game modes and both types. So they had a social quick play where they played Control on one map. So I played a lot of that. Control still pretty much the same. Those of you who played Destiny 1 that either didn't get to play the beta or haven't read much up about Destiny 2, they did make some pretty big changes to PvP. The game is 4v4 now instead of 6v6 for most game modes, and it's for all modes now, so even the competitive modes are 4v4. With Control, having multiple people standing in the hill doesn't seem to increase how fast you capture it. I don't know if that was a thing. I never really noticed in Destiny 1. However, it also only gives your team 1 point instead of, I believe, everybody getting points, regardless of how many people were in there. Again, I could be wrong on that. Maybe I don't pay attention to the points that much. But the maps are small, which, of course, was sort of needed when you're doing 4v4 instead of 6v6. If they had the size of some of Destiny's maps for 4v4, you would just never find enemies. The fighting would be few and far between. I feel like map control is a lot more important instead of just kind of running around and doing whatever you want. I mean, granted, it is Control as well, so the whole point is map control. Things felt really good in PvP, except I wasn't used to the weapons. Once I got used to some of the guns, it was a lot better of an experience once I was kind of accustomed to them. But some of the things that are nice are sticky grenades no longer insta-kill you. Shoulder charge no longer insta-kills you. The supers they feel strong, but I feel like they don't charge fast enough. I had some games that, even when I did pretty good, I never got my super. Or I would get it right as the match was ending, so I never really had a chance to use it. So I feel like supers should probably charge just a little bit faster, so that your super economy is kind of happening near the end of the mid-game, going into late game on most game modes. I love the HUD, where at the top you can see your team and your enemy team, who's dead, what class and super they're using, whether they have their super. Just little things like that make the gameplay great, because you kind of have an idea of what to look out for. It lets you prepare a little bit. There's no spawning, running around a corner, and just getting eaten by some super that you didn't know was happening. Whereas you kind of have an idea of when supers are happening. It also, on the kill feed on the bottom left-hand corner, will tell you when someone activates their super and who it is and what the super is. So you can kind of look out for that. Weapons, power ammo, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I didn't really feel like we had any issues with power ammo when the fact that only one person could have it. And a lot of the weapons are very kind of skewed when it comes to how powerful they are and, you know, what you get for power ammo. So, like, rocket launcher makes sense. You only get one rocket. Or I'd imagine, depending on the rocket launcher, you might fill the magazine. So if you have a rocket launcher that has 2 shots, it'll probably give you 2. But some of the other guns, they gave you a lot of ammo. The sniper rifle, in particular, didn't feel like a power weapon. And I realized that, you know, the sniper rifle is really meant for headshots and skillful shots and everything, but if you're relegating a sniper rifle to being a power weapon, it shouldn't punish you so badly for missing a headshot and hitting the body. I feel like the sniper rifle did less than 50% of an enemy's health in PvP, meaning it took 3 body shots to kill somebody. Realistically, while a sniper rifle is supposed to reward skill, because if you're getting like 5 or 6 shots, it's 5 or 6 potential kills as long as you don't die, as long as you hit your headshots. I feel like maybe it should be beefed up a little bit on the damage department when it comes to body shots. Shotguns felt super powerful, which was okay because it was a power weapon. Fusion rifle felt super strong, which was fine because it was a power weapon. Grenade launcher, while tough to use, felt good. And then the rocket launcher, of course, it's a rocket launcher, so it's strong. So then the last piece was I played the competitive mode, not with a full group of 4, but with a group of 3, which is called Countdown. Now, Countdown is very similar to, I believe it's called Search and Destroy in Call of Duty, where, so you swap attacking, defending teams each round. The attacking team, there are 2 points on the map where you set a bomb, and then the bomb will detonate in 30 seconds. So you have to either, as the attacking team, you have to detonate the bomb or eliminate the enemy team. The defending team, you need to either eliminate the enemy team or disarm the bomb. Now, if the attacking team arms a bomb and you eliminate the attacking team, you still have to deactivate the bomb to win the round. Now, this was an elimination game mode, much like Trials of Osiris or Elimination, so there was no auto respawn. If you die in Countdown, you have a 15-second timer. After the 15 seconds, your teammate can revive you. However, it looks like your team gets a total of 4 revives per round. Each team will get that. So you can't indefinitely revive your teammates over and over again. The map that it was played on was called Midtown, I believe. It had 1 bomb point that was relatively open, and then 1 bomb point that was very close quarters. It felt like a very good map. I'm not typically into those type of super competitive modes, except Execution and Gears of War, which this is, relatively similar to Execution. But it felt really good. It was really fun, especially playing with a coordinated team. We didn't win a ton, but we had a lot of games because it's first to 6 round wins, and we had a lot of games go all the way to the 11th round, where it was tied 5-5, and whoever won that round won. It was a lot of fun, I have to say, all things considering, and me not being that big into the super competitive modes. But my impressions on the PvP were good. My impressions on the PvE was even better, as long as the ammo economy, the super and ability economy gets fixed a little bit, because I don't feel like you got your super or your abilities very often in PvE. So it was a lot more gunplay than space magic, which I would rather more space magic, at least in PvE. Maybe not as much in PvP. Anyways, if any of you guys stuck it out through this whole video, I really appreciated this one a lot longer than I expected, but there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover that I had opinions on, and I was an idiot there and just ran off the cliff. But let me know what you thought of everything in this game down in the comments. And are you going to be picking this game up in September when it comes out? I know I already have mine pre-ordered, so I can't wait to start playing it and getting back into this game. And, this time from the beginning, and hopefully for good, for the long haul, whereas Destiny 1 I kind of played till like level 11 and then stopped until about 6 months before Rise of Iron. So anyways, like, share, subscribe, let us know what you think, and until next time, guys, stay infinite.